134 against a talented sophomore from Atwater, California for Oklahoma State, Jal Kelly. He's 19-3. He lost 3 matches in a row in the middle of the season and has won 10 since.
He's a very talented wrestler.
Question is, what will he do in front of the big crowd? How will he handle the attack of Ironside? He has the skills, John Smith assures everybody who asks. And if he has the chance to beat Ironside somewhere along the way, he has the talent to take advantage of it.
Well, I'll say this right now. If Kelly from Oklahoma State can keep this a 3-point decision with Ironside, he's done what the coaches really expect him to do. Very talented, but he's not at the caliber, he's not at the level that Mark Ironside is. And Mark Ironside fully expects to get at least 4 here. Anything less would be a disappointment.
Mark Ironside, who hasn't lost in a long time, 25-0 this year, a national champion last year. Very motivated young man. Crowd is upset that Kelly is moving around the outside of the mat.
And the strategy is to stay away, keep it close, keep yourself in shooting distance right there, but don't let Ironside get it rolling. But right now with this crowd, very intelligent crowd.
He likes to horse people around with that front headlock situation in the short series and come around.
Well, Kelly's just hanging on to the elbow right there. He's not wrestling. And the crowd knows it.
Hustle back, guys. Hustle back, hustle back.
He's doing a great job strategically, but he's not wrestling. Kelly from Oklahoma State.
And it's questionable whether he could continue that for 7 minutes.
Right. He'd like to continue it as long as he can, though.
Nice high crotch by Ironside. Now you have to finish it. Now he'll want to finish it.
Still neutral. Still neutral.
He got the takedown right there.
He got the takedown. Mark Ironside over Jal Kelly.
Ironside got taken down twice last week against Arizona State, and you know that he remembers that. He takes that as a personal affront.
Keep it legal. Watch your arm there. Keep it legal.
We're less than a minute away from the end of this first period with a 2-0 score in favor of Ironside over Jal Kelly.
Keep it legal. Watch your arm.
Oklahoma State still has a 4-3 lead on the strength of a 4-point major decision at 118 pounds.
If Ironside can keep him flat right here, he can make this work. And the thing is, he doesn't want Kelly to get up to his knees. Kelly's not about to get up to his knees. It's just how long will Chuck Yagla let Kelly not wrestle?
20 seconds to go here in the first period. Tim Johnson and I'm Doug Brown with Iowa Public Television's veteran crew covering wrestling from our Carver Hawkeye Arena. Number 1 against number 2, Oklahoma State against the Iowa Hawkeyes. There's a warning on the bottom man, Kelly. We're at the end of the first period. And here's a young man who just got this crowd back, started again, Doug Schwab at 126 pounds. What happened out there? What happened?
You know, he came out and he scored 4 on me right away, and I just tried to keep the pace up. He rode me for a lot longer than I would like to have, but when we got back on our feet, I just was on him, staying in good position, fighting off his shots, and snapping him a lot, you know, making him work hard. And he got tired, and I just stayed after him. Yep.
Well, you know, in the wrestling room, as hard as you work, you think about that out there at this time. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know you're ready to go 7 minutes.
That is what it's all about. You know, I mean, that's why I wrestle a match for 7 minutes. You know, if you can only go 3, you know, I mean, it's no big deal. You got to be able to go 7, and, you know, I just want to pick up the pace and start, you know, that first minute. You know, I haven't been doing that. You know, he get up on me right away. I want to start that pace, that first minute that I was, you know, the last 2 minutes of the match. If I can do that, I don't think anybody can stay with me.
Well, you did that against Dwight Hinson earlier in the year. You have to feel like you can do it against anyone.
Yeah, I gotta, you know, just have a hard pace from the whole 7 minutes. That's what I have to do.
Here's a cradle locked up by Mark Ironside.
You know, that beat Guerrero and Hinson.
Look at this.
Oh.
He has Kelly on his back. Chuck Yagla. Watch Chuck Yagla's
hand.
It
just go ahead.
He has a lot of time.
Come on. Come on, Ironside. There it is. Yeah!
Whoa! With 51 seconds left to go in the second period. Therefore, in 4 minutes and 9 seconds, It's a pin for Mark Ironside over Jal Kelly. And Iowa has it. I'll tell you what, I think you started something there.
Well, he really did. Doug Schwab turned something around and was almost getting away from Iowa. He got it turned around. You have to feel real excited about that. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations, young man.
Thanks.
And we're going to go to work here for 7 more matches, too, because now this is one that a lot of people would walk a few miles to see at 142 pounds. Number 1 ranked Steve Schmidt of Oklahoma State, undefeated in 23 matches, against Jeff McGinness, a national champion at a lower weight 2 years ago, ranked number 3 at 142. Very experienced, very tough. This is a test for both of these men.
It really is.
This is a real test for both.
You know, Steve Schmidt is such a quality wrestler. He can do it all, like I said. He's got good moves and he's got intensity. He's everything a coach would want. His problem right here is getting up now after seeing 2 disappointing matches right here. They didn't want to get pinned by Ironside, and Ironside put Kelly down to the mat. They certainly didn't expect to lose with Guerrero against Schwab. Now he's got to get Oklahoma State back on track. And I'm telling you, Steve Schmidt has all the tools to fend off the attack of Jeff McGinness. But can he do it in front of 14,000 partisan fans?
He's doing a lot of shooting at the legs. And I know John Smith feels he has to be able to finish those shots. He has to get in, try to rough fireman's carry, a high crotch sort of move. There was another one just for a moment. Now here comes McGinness.
Hey, McGinness has got the ankle. He's got the... Oh!
He has a cradle. He has a cradle. Schmidt. He has him cradled up.
No back point. No back point.
No back point.
He's still got the cradle.
That's 2 takedown. No back point.
He's still at... Whoa! Uh-oh, he's got to give it up.
Yeah, he's a little... He could get himself in trouble here now.
And he is in trouble.
2 red reversal.
Now he's in trouble with a cradle. They traded cradles. And Schmidt has McGinness on his back.
McGinness is in trouble.
Yes, he is. We have how many seconds? 1 minute and 20 to go in this period. Amazing. Watch Chug Yagla. This could turn it around again.
McGinness doing a good job of keeping that shoulder up right there, but if Schmidt hooks that
struggle.
leg, uh-oh, it's over.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. And McGinness loses on a fall. Steve Schmidt, ranked number 1, has come back with the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Boy, do you think Steve Schmidt got him back in this? Whoa.
A fall in 2 minutes and 1 second.
We called this a shootout in the first I'd say that's everything.
A fall in 2 minutes and 1 second at 142 pounds. Steven Schmidt pins Jeff McGinness in 2 minutes and 1 second. And now it's a 10-9 score. Oklahoma State comes back up on top. Now that's one I think maybe Oklahoma State thought they were going to win, but I don't really believe anybody expected them to win it on a fall.
Well, I don't think anybody has picked any one of these matches so far, you know. A 4-point victory by Oklahoma State at 118. Then an upset win by Schwab at 26. Then a fall by Ironside at 34, and now a fall by Schmidt. And that came off of McGinness getting a great takedown and going after it. You got to give credit to McGinness for going after it, but in this match against a quality wrestler by Schmidt, you want to be careful.
You're looking at Jimmy Arias as we bring the rankings up here. The latest ones have moved Penn State up to 3rd, ahead of Minnesota. Arizona State has had a good meet against Iowa while losing. Oklahoma, then Iowa State, number 7, and West Virginia, the top 8. At 150 pounds for Iowa and Iowa State, Jimmy Arias against Jamie Height. And nobody's in here. I think I'm wondering if the Iowa team thought they were going to do a break. We have Jimmy Arias, who's 19-4. He's won 15 in a row. And here comes Jamie Height coming through the tunnel. They almost could have penalized him for not being there. And probably it's a good thing he wasn't around for that last match. Jimmy Arias, who is a junior from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, won 15 in a row since losing to a Fresno wrestler in the middle of the season. Jamie Height, senior from Humboldt, who was a walk-on, has just kept right on coming and is now, you might say, the regular at 150 pounds, although sharing time most of the season with Casey Gillis.
In the middle, guys, in the middle. Circle in. Hustle back, guys, hustle back.
That's where Height has to get in there and get it back going for Iowa now, just like Schmidt got it going for Oklahoma State, back in the meet.
10-9, Oklahoma State leads by 1. Amazing events here so far. At 118 pounds,
more action.
a major decision for Oklahoma State. Guerrero is upset by Schwab at 126. At 134, Ironside wins a pin, and then Schmidt pins McGinness at 142, which stunned this crowd in Carver Hawkeye.
Oklahoma State still in a bit more of a hole than they wanted to be at this weight, right? Or by this time, Arias needs to come out here, and I'm sure the coaches from Oklahoma State say you got to be a man and go out and get this one for us. You're the ranked wrestler. Do what you're supposed to do. So what Jamie Height from Iowa is in there to do is stop him.
Height trying to work the front headlock.
More action, more action.
Chuck Yagler says, let's go back, start it over again. We've used about a half of the first period. A minute and 20 to go. You see from time to time the Oklahoma State bench and the Iowa bench. Boy, the emotions go from high to low here in about 2 seconds. Jeff McGinness almost had Stephen Schmidt pinned and then fell into a cradle himself and got pinned. Amazing.
Height's been in there with the tough ones. He's had a loss to Kraft, number 2 ranked Minnesota 4-0, but he went overtime with the number 3 ranked Musser from Penn State.
Shot in on the legs by Arias. Now he has to complete it. He has to be able to turn around and score with about a half a minute to go. And he almost had Jamie Height in a bad position to turn him. 2-0
Both
takedown.
teams have been placing the opponents on their back.
2-1 after the escape. Point for an escape, 2 for a takedown, as you know.
Right here in the home crowd, this is good position for Jamie Height right there to back up Arias against the back and get the referee thinking about, is the Oklahoma State wrestler being aggressive, staying in the middle of the mat.
Hustle back, guys, hustle back.
Jimmy Arias, home stater from Oklahoma. Third 2 years in a row in the Big 8. Last year, well, it was the Big 12 by last year. There's the end of the first period. 2-1 score for Arias.
You're looking at John Smith, the first family of wrestling, the Smith family. Leroy started it out. John, look at all those credentials. Sullivan Award is the top athlete of the year, no matter what sport in America, and only 2 wrestlers. He was the first wrestler ever to win the Sullivan Award. Bruce Baumgartner has also won it. Wrestling get great recognition by John Smith's accomplishments.
Arias had the choice on the bottom, took the bottom, and is now trying to escape. He's been coming up without hands, and so hand control, and Height's been able to keep him in here. There's no time advantage to speak of. 2-1 score. Arias had the only takedown in the first period. 10-9, Oklahoma State leads Iowa after 4 matches. Arias up, still doesn't have the hands though. Now he's out. Makes it 3-1. Back to the feet.
There's Leroy Smith Sr., the man with the hat, the man that started it all for the Smiths, got his sons wrestling in Del City, Oklahoma. And we talked about Leroy and we talked about John. Leroy, of course, the Arizona State coach, but then, of course, there's Pat Smith, the only 4-time NCAA champion. You think it stops there? We'll see Mark Smith at 167.
A low John Smith-style single by Jimmy Arias.
It's amazing how the team reflects the coach, and of course,
Isn't it? Isn't it?
they move like their coach did.
Now let's see what.
Arias needs to come up, see, he needs to get his hips underneath him, come across and cover the hips, and what Height wants to do is stay right in there until the referee calls stalemate.
Here he comes.
Whoa.
Well, again, he almost had Height in a
They're going
tough
everywhere. He's
position
got
to
an arm
turn.
bar.
Takedown makes it 5-1.
Keep it legal.
Arias only a junior, but this is his 3rd year of starting for the Cowboys.
Keep it legal.
He has the arm bar, and he has Height flat. He'd like to turn him with it. Actually, John Smith told us that his team has spent most of its time this year working on takedowns on the feet. Not a lot on top, but they've done some good riding tonight, too.
Right here, he'd like to roll through and tilt him and get some points right here. Height doing a nice job of breaking the hands.
Second period is almost complete. 1 second left as
1 second. Bottom man,
Chuck
get set.
Yagla separates them, saying that it was a potentially dangerous hold situation.
Get your set. Stop.
5-1 in favor of the Cowboy. His team leads 10-9 after 4 weights. The end of the second period. Third period will be Height's choice. There's
Dan in a position that he doesn't like to really be. Look at that, as a spectator. Does he look like he's comfortable there?
No. I don't see people sitting too close to him there either. I think he's edging away. There's a roll for Height, but it didn't get anywhere to start the third period. Riding time advantage will come in another 10 seconds.
Shut on. Keep it legal.
Height needs to be more snappy on the moves right there, and he needs to put more than one move in succession. And he can't roll to his back like that. He's just letting Arias, by his moves there, which is not much, he's letting Arias float and ride and build up riding time.
Hustle back, hustle back.
Again, we talked about it in Schwab's match,
Bottom man, get set.
but Height needs to put more than one move at a time together. He needs to go, 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 and the people that know how to do that, people like John Smith and Jim Zaleski, the respective coaches, they didn't stop after one move when they were underneath.
A minute and a half to go in the match. A 5-1 lead for Arias on top. Putting a lot of pressure on his man.
Still red, still red.
He's doing a good job of riding here because he's putting pressure, like you said.
Still red.
But here's Height coming out.
You're neutral.
Yep.
That's neutral.
And he needs to break it. Look.
Point.
Height did a nice job of stopping Arias on the come around.
So a 3-point lead with riding time for Jimmy Arias. In a meet full of thrills, Oklahoma State and Iowa.
Well, it came from the first move. Arias was in on the first move. He made a nice low shot, but he pulled the trigger first. He's done it the whole match.
Did you notice how it was almost as if he was taking down somebody behind Height? He went right through.
Still neutral. Still neutral.
Now he has to fight with a wizard to keep him being taken down here with 30 seconds to go. An overhook by Arias is saving the situation for him, at least for a moment.
Well, and Height can't stay down.
Only 15 seconds in the match.
Hustle back, hustle back, hustle back, hustle back.
5-2.
Hustle back, guys.
11 seconds to go here. Oklahoma State leads in the meet 10-9.
See, Height's got to get past the first line of defense by Arias. He hasn't been able to get past those arms. Look at that. 2 with 1 second left.
And there's the end of that match with riding time. It's a 6-2 win for the Cowboy. 7-2 win for the Cowboy. And that makes it Oklahoma State 13 and Iowa 9. Oklahoma State 13, Iowa 9. Boy, what a first set of 5 matches, Tim Johnson.
Woo. I'll tell you what, we knew it was going to be close. We just didn't know the way it was going to take place.
That's the end of the 150-pound match. And tonight, Iowa Public Television would like to present here at the intermission another off-the-mat video profile. Today, we're going to meet Iowa's Mike Mark Ironside, last year's NCAA champion at 134. A pinner tonight who is hungry for another.
I got interested in wrestling and I got an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. He'd come home at night and practice moves and that type of stuff on me. And that's kind of how I got started and involved in this. I kind of liked this. And then I got into a tournament, and the first tournament I went to, I just hated it. I didn't do very good. I got killed. I remember crying and telling my mom on the way home, I never want to wrestle again. I'm never going to do it again. I think like a week, the next weekend or the following weekend, I went out and wrestled another tournament and I won. And then just the feeling of winning the tournament and, you know, staying on the top block with the wall chart and stuff, just like in the fifth grade. From there on out, I was hooked. There was no turning back.
Ironside was a two-time Iowa high school champion for Cedar Rapids Jefferson, finishing his career with 106 wins in 112 matches.
And there it is. It's 7-2 in favor of Mark Ironside of Cedar Rapids Jefferson.
I expected to win it, you know, and I knew I could win it. So, like a lot of people go jump in the arms and this and that and everything else. It's almost like they can't believe it. They're hysterical, you know. But I think when you really believe that you can, I mean, it means a lot to you, but you don't, it's like it doesn't surprise you like that. When you stand on the war stand, that's probably the most special thing, especially when I was in high school, just looking around at all the people and everything else. And then I guess then I kind of just really thought, you know, I did it. I'm number one out of everybody else and that type of stuff, you know. And it's a good feeling. And the best thing is like I can look back and I can say I did it. That's why I love wrestling, is the individual part as far as, you know, you're out there by yourself.
Half Nelson.
He's got to clear the leg, and then he's got to reverse the half. Now he's got it.
Now he's in a tough spot. Watch the referee. It's over.
Ironside has continued his winning ways at the University of Iowa, becoming a three-time All-American and capturing the NCAA title at 134 pounds last season.
Last year, there was just no looking back, and there wasn't no way I was going to lose. There was no way. I didn't want to let, you know, every match of mine last year, I wanted to dominate. I didn't want to let my opponents in the match, or the referees, or the coaches. I didn't want to let nobody else in the mat, and I wanted to dominate. It's kind of a load off your shoulders, but it's a really self-satisfying thing, especially for me, because it's so much hard work and so much stuff that we do here at Iowa and everything that's put into winning like that. Mainly my interests outside of wrestling go as far as the outdoors. I love trapping. Trapping is my #1 favorite thing to do, by no means. It has a lot to do with wrestling. It's really, it's a lot like wrestling. I really enjoy trapping. This here's a hole set. You got a bait hole way back up in there dug out where you put the bait in it. And then you got your trap out here in front of the hole. And you got your guide sticks to guide them into the hole right. Primary technique in trapping have to be placement of the trap, knowing how to place the trap, whether at a certain angle or how deep or how shallow and what area, what to cover it. It's a workout in itself, climbing up and down these banks all the time. I'm really laid back. I don't talk a lot. I just mind my own business and that type of thing. I don't get all riled up about things. I don't let things worry me, and just kind of do my own thing and treat people really good, as far as I know I do. I treat people how they treat me, and if people treat me good, then I'm going to treat them good. I like to help people out. I really like to help people.
You are viewing Iowa Public Television, a resource for Iowa's future.
13-9, that's the score. Oklahoma State leads Iowa after 5 matches here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. We'll tell you about some of the things that happened if you missed them. We have some more off-the-mat features this year with coaches from University of Northern Iowa and, of course, Bobby Douglas from Iowa State. Look forward to in the weeks to come. The next week, as a matter of fact, when we have a big triple header next week. A big wrestling triple header on Friday at 11 p.m. It's the second Iowa State. The rematch delayed that night. We have the Iowa Conference Championships. Great wrestling in that Division III. And then Iowa State goes against UNI live on Sunday, the 22nd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tim, we got a busy week and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right, but I'm right here, right now. This is live.
Where would you rather be? Where would you rather be?
Nowhere else. I mean, you know, you might say rather be home with your wife, but my wife's here tonight, and we get all this. This is great.
Well, I'll tell you, 13-9. Let's talk a little bit about what happened. First, we talked about the first two weights being so important, and Oklahoma State thought they really needed to win them. Well, they did win, and we thought, boy, they're off on the road. A major decision at 118.
Well, that's right, and Tig Moore came out and wrestled. He wrestled hard, and he made your decision to hot wrestler in Eric Juergens. But then Guerrero came out, and I was real impressed with the way he came out. He came out like he was coached. Get out there and fight. But guess what? Guerrero got frustrated. He got the and Doug Schwab, his aggressiveness and with the crowd going, got the best of Guerrero, turned it around and won.
And the crowd changed it. Then at 134 pounds, out came Mark Ironside, and something happened there that got the crowd really going. There it is.
There's it. Big fall right there. Chuck Gagla, the official right there. He flattens Kelly from Oklahoma State to the mat and gets a big pin, and you think, uh-oh, is Iowa off to the races? Could this be an embarrassment for Oklahoma State?
But that didn't look like that wasn't a huge upset there. But at 142 pounds, number one wrestler in Steve Schmidt comes out against Jeff McGinness.
Ranked number 3, a former national champion. I mean, this is not a position that Jeff...
Look at that.
Yeah, at 142, this is not a position that Jeff McGinness has been in, and Steve Schmidt wins a big match. Gets Oklahoma State back into it in a big way.
A minute before that happened, Schmidt was on his back in a cradle the same way that with McGinness on top, but he got out of it, and an amazing turn of events. Well, then at 150 pounds, it was Oklahoma State's win. They're 13-9 now. There's Ron Good, came up from Oklahoma.
Amateur Wrestling
News editor to see this meet. Well, if you're a wrestling fan, where else are you going to be too, huh? It's at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Iowa Public Television. Tim Johnson, I'm Doug Brown. And we're going to 158 pounds next, where the second-ranked man in the country wrestles for the Cowboys. He is Hardell Moore. He's a senior from Coweta, Oklahoma. And he has won 16 matches in a row. He lost to a young man from Harvard. Harvard is a fine wrestling team this year. So he got surprised a little bit.
Yeah, they got Kendall Cross, former Oklahoma State national champion, as one of their coaches at Harvard.
And Gabe McMahon is the Hawkeye. Gabe McMahon, a freshman from Gacona, Alaska, from McMahon, from Gacona, Alaska, up against a freshman against an experienced, nationally ranked senior. So definitely Oklahoma State figures to win here. They hope to win. But by how much? Offensively explosive. Hardell Moore takes him down 2-0.
Well, he really is, and he's really come a long ways from his freshman year, and he has really become very tough. He was an All-American last year and looking to try to win it all this year at 158. Had one of his better matches just last week at Gallagher Hall against Tucker from Oklahoma. And where he won in a close match.
He got thrown twice, I heard, in the first period of that match, and then managed to come back. Isn't that what John Smith said? It was a matter of, showed a lot of character in that against Tucker, who's only ranked 3rd, right behind him.
Well, Hardell Moore really wants to try to take the wind out of McMahon right here. He's very explosive and powerful, and he has the ability to just, make big things happen very quickly.
One green. Out. Moore leads 2-1.
So he's got a lot of look at that.
Oh boy.
He's just very powerful. He's mowing him down right there. He can take anybody down, and he's done it twice now to McMahon. But it's the way that he's taking him down.
Yeah, with a rush. Now he's looking for a tilt. He has that 2-on-1 on the arm underneath. You'd like to roll him up and put him on his back for some back points, near fall points.
Keep it legal.
In any case, McMahon is not in a position to endanger him at all at the moment underneath. We're halfway through the first period, 3 minutes long. It's a minute and about 12 to go. Moore leads 4-1. Oklahoma State leads 13-9.
A lot of pressure by Hardell Moore right here. He's got that wrist. He's keeping the pressure right here, and he's looking right here to try to get that near wrist out. He's coming out front. That always shows you have a lot of confidence in yourself.
Gabe McMahon came down from Gakona, Alaska, where he was coached by a Zaleski. Lenny Zaleski, Jim Zaleski's brother, was his coach up there. Sent him on down from one brother to the other. Moore leads 4-1 with about a half a minute to go in the first period. It's Oklahoma State 13, the Hawkeyes 9. The battles between numbers 1 and 2.
Right now, Moore is dominating in probably his least likely position of power. He is great on his feet. He can explode out and get out from underneath anybody. And right now, he's dominating on top.
He has almost 2.5 minutes of riding time, Tim, in the first period. Got 2 quick takedowns, and now he's just riding. There's the end of the first period, 4-1 Moore.
Green, your choice.
Here's this last takedown. He has an underhook there and just drives through McMahon. All McMahon has to do there is give it up so he doesn't give more than 2.
Moore's choice, he picks the underneath position. There's John Schmidt. If he looks calm, that's the way he says he likes to be during a match.
Okay, bottom your
He says, what was he was telling us, Tim, about he'd like to have his wrestler know what to do out there without my having to be up and telling him.
Well, that was 1 and 1. 1 point and 1 second for Hardell Moore. He came out so fast it looked like McMahon didn't even know what happened.
5-1, a double leg shot.
In on the shot. McMahon's got to start for Iowa. He's got to start fighting hard and getting the inside position and not letting Hardell Moore just do whatever he wants, because he's going to be looking at giving up extra points. He's got to get in there, keep good position, fight hard, try to get a takedown. And he's in on the leg, but it's just like in on a tree stump right there, a moving tree stump.
That's right, 5-1 with about 1:13 to go in the second period.
4-time All-American Jim Zaleski didn't lose after his sophomore year, ended up with an 89-match winning streak for the Hawkeyes. He knows what he's talking about when he tells his Hawkeyes what's up on the mat. Right now, this crowd of 13,000 plus is sleeping because they haven't been given anything in this match to get excited about.
Coming up in the next weight, 167 pounds, number 1 ranked Joe Williams against number 2 Mark Smith, who after a couple of seasons of wrestling at a higher weight.
You know, I don't know whether they're sleeping. I think they might be holding their breath.
And there's the takedown. The warning was issued first by official to Gabe McMahon for inactivity. Then Hardell Moore took him down for the 3rd time. 7-1. Hardell Moore was a Big 12 champion last year and placed 4th in the Nationals.
Hustle back. 11 seconds.
Gets in on the legs, double leg, drives through. Just like a freight train right there. He just drove right through the hips. There's no question where the power is.
10 seconds to go in the second period. And Hardell Moore is going to finish this period in the top position where he's been for almost 3 minutes in this match so far. He has riding time.
Green, your choice.
There's the Smith brother that I was talking about earlier, the last of Leroy Sr.'s sons, Mark Smith. He was a 3-time state champion himself. He's All-American and trying to contend for an NCAA title, but the guy he wrestles next, Joe Williams, is a guy he's got to go through if he's going to match his brothers on top of the stand at the end of the year.
Hardell Moore in a very tough short series situation.
Stalemate.
Underhook with the head under. 7-2 after the escape in favor.
This is where the Iowa wrestler has to fight. He has to fight, do whatever it takes to not let Hardell Moore get an easy 2 points. He's got to fight and claw. He's got to take his lesson from Doug Schwab earlier. Keep good position.
Just keep going, and you never know what'll happen.
That's right. Right now, it's a 5-point lead, 6 with riding time, 1 more takedown by Moore and a ride, and he's got a major decision. McMahon has the opportunity to keep it from that.
Wait, got some blood on you.
Yeah, extra points are, every way we've looked at it so far, you know how coaches do it, wrestlers.
There's two disappointed wrestlers, Eric Juergens and Jeff McGinness. 10 points for Oklahoma State by wrestling those two, a 4-point win and a 6-point pin. And then there's 6 points right there for the Hawkeyes. Mark Ironside, defending national champion. Big fall for the Hawkeyes at 134.
This timeout is for what you call a blood timeout. It goes to the Iowa Gabe McMahon. Those are the triple header events next week. Iowa State against Iowa in the rematch. We'll have it for you on delay at 11 o'clock on Friday night. We have the Iowa Conference Championships for the first time, 5 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. And then on Sunday at 2 live, we'll have UNI from UNI against Iowa State. And there's Jim Gibbons, who's the former Iowa State coach.
And he'll be with us.
And he'll be joining us for the conference championships up at Waverly.
There is what Moore did, is put the moves together, but McMahon trying to fight him off. He needs to fight hard because Moore's coming. He does it.
It was not to be denied. Not to be denied. It's 9-2. 4 takedowns for Hardell Moore. You get some idea why he's ranked as high as he is, number 2.
Well, look how much pressure he's got on. Right now, he wants to ride McMahon out and keep this 8-point win and a 4 points.
Warning on top. Warning red.
Well, right now, McMahon just needs to put however many moves together it takes. Even if it's 15, he shouldn't be sitting there. It's easier said than done with Hardell on top, just trying to ride.
Keep it legal.
Oklahoma State coaches up, exhorting their man to keep going, keep moving, keep moving. And there's a very big move to get McMahon out with only 1 second to go in the match. That is so important.
Back to center, guys.
Big move.
That makes it 10-3, but it is not a major decision. There's only 3 points for the Cowboys. They now go up 16-9. And the way we always look at it, and I think the coaches look at it, the rest is probably true, those extra points, Tim, make all the difference in the world in this meet. They can make such a difference.
This is a big match.
All right, now we go to 167. The number 1 ranked man at this weight is Joe Williams. He's out there undefeated. Across from him, number 2, Mark Schmidt, undefeated.
67 pounds.
Woo!
Take hands.
Big events, and tonight maybe some more here. Mark Schmidt. Last year he wrestled at 177, but it was not really his best weight. He's much more comfortable at 67, and it's a more natural weight for him. Joe Williams.
Of course, Joe Williams up from 158 last year, 167, and I don't think that he gives away anything at this weight.
Mark Smith, the front headlock looking for an inside trip, you can see with his leg.
Hustle back, guys, hustle back, hustle back.
Joe Williams, tremendous position, strength, length.
Out here on the mat. I think it's from the previous match. Stay over here, guys.
A little bleeding up. You know, we were talking about this match with John Smith earlier in the week, and he said, well, you know, Mark, I think he's going to have to take Joe down 2 or 3 times. Well, you were at the Arizona meet last week, and you saw Joe taken down for the first 2 times this season.
Casey Strand from Arizona State took Joe Williams down twice, did not beat him, but he gave Joe Williams everything he wanted, and that came from on his feet. That's what Mark Smith has to do here. He's going to have to take him down 2 or 3 times to win. Joe Williams is very, very hard to score on.
On the other hand, you have to keep Joe Williams off your legs. He's so explosive under there. So explosive. We have a minute gone in the first period. Quite a subtle little struggle going on for
circle, circle.
hand control.
Hustle back, guys, hustle back.
Snap down try by Smith, but it happened on the edge of the mat. Two top-ranked men at this weight, 167 pounds. Oklahoma State leads 16-9.
Come on, guys, more action.
The key
more
here
action.
is intensity by both wrestlers. They both need to be focused because just one errant thought, one stand around, and either wrestler can score just like that.
You've seen quite a bit of experience shown in this Oklahoma State team. They have less in the next two weights, 177 and 190. They would like, Oklahoma State would like to, well, certainly they would like to Mark Smith to beat Joe Williams. But they know very well that the Iowa team does have an advantage in the next two weights, so they want to keep them fairly close. We have a minute and a half to go in the first period. A minute and a half used from Carver Hawkeye Arena with Tim Johnson. I'm Doug Brown. We have the #1 wrestling team in the country, Oklahoma State. The #2 ranked team, Iowa, before more than 13,000 fans.
These guys are really just feeling each other out. Very tentative here. #1
Here's
versus
Joe Williams on that double leg. A booming double leg. That's what he needed to get.
Watch the knee there, watch the knee there. Watch the knee on top.
That's a Joe Williams specialty. If he can get that, he's going to beat you.
Hustle back, guys, hustle back, hustle back.
What do you think happened?
Right there, driving through. Joe Williams is so quick. He's in on him before you could even blink an eye, in, driving through, covered the hips, and got the 2 points. Now all of a sudden, Joe Williams isn't hesitant anymore. He says, I can do this. And what you don't want to be caught in is wrestling a very confident Joe Williams.
One red.
But Smith is out quickly.
Stay here, guys. Stay here, Red. Stay here, Red.
There's Leroy Smith Sr.
Joe Williams handed one of his contact lenses, I think, over to a manager. 2-1 after that escape.
See, the key to Smith right here for Oklahoma State is to shut the offense of, Joe Williams down. Well,
you ready to go? We want some time.
1-0, Joe Williams as far as takedown.
Come on.
Making the score 2-1 after the escape.
Watch the face, guys. Watch the face.
But Joe Williams has not been shut down. Dan Gable, Joe's inspiration. Joe very motivated by the coach.
So now Mark Smith decides to go from the outside just for a second without tying up. But then comes back into the position.
Red, your choice. Down. Red's down. Second period.
Now that was from 97.
And that's where Tony Ursuline was put on his back by Mark Smith for a big win in the Cowboys' win at the Cliff Keen National Dual Championships last year, 1997.
Mark Smith will start the second period down in the underneath position. He escaped rather quickly the last time this came to this position. Now
go down, up easy, guys, easy, guys. Break.
29 seconds have been used. Chuck Yagler is the referee.
Now Joe Williams is interesting here. He doesn't ride much. He doesn't like to ride. He's really good on his feet, but when he has to, he can ride. This is interesting right here.
Goes down on the leg. He wants to keep Smith. I think he feels that he's close enough to a riding time point that it might make a difference when he gets down to the end. 37 seconds of advantage time so far for Williams.
Okay, bottom, don't move. Top man on.
A lot of strategy in this match right here.
Cut on your finger. Let's get over. Okay, come on.
Chuck Yagler is going to bring Joe Williams on.
Joe's riding someone that's very strong from the bottom. Mark Smith isn't ridden by anybody.
But you can see Williams really wants to do it.
See, that's the challenge right there. Mark Smith is known as a very, very strong underneath wrestler.
And Joe and Mark, of course, got the crowd charged up. He made a little gesture, a little
14 seconds is what Joe Williams is looking to riding to get that riding time. I doubt if Mark Smith had riding time against him the entire year.
Goes down on the ankle.
Oh,
now he's
away.
53 seconds of riding time now.
Now this is a very important minute and 20 seconds right here. If Joe Williams scores here, Mark Smith's in trouble. Mark Smith needs to score for Oklahoma State.
The Cowboys lead 16-9 in the team score. We've had some stupendous things happen. A heel pick by Williams. Now he comes in on the leg. Single. He would prefer the double. But Mark Smith has got pretty good hip position here. Pretty good position.
Still neutral, still neutral.
Still no takedown.
They'll call stalemate.
Stalemate.
Hustle back, guys. Up easy. Up easy, guys.
You get the impression that's a position that Mark Smith likes.
Hustle back, guys. Come on, hustle back. Hustle back.
It's not uncomfortable in.
Let's go. Hustle back.
Back to the center with 44 seconds to go in the second period.
A takedown for Joe Williams here does a number of things. One, it'll take him up over the minute mark for riding time. Two, it shows his dominance on the feet. Big 40 seconds right here. Opportunity for Joe Williams to close the door on Mark Smith.
Last half minute to go of the second period.
Obviously the opportunity goes the other way too for Mark Smith from Oklahoma State.
16-9 again, Cowboys. There's a double leg shot that the underhooks of Mark Smith stop. That time he was not able to penetrate.
Smith has to feel good where he's at right now. He's giving himself a shot, giving himself a chance. He's in the match. One takedown could end up winning this whole thing. We're with only a few seconds left in the second period. Joe Williams going to go down in the third, I'm sure.
2-2. There's the end of the...
Green, your choice.
Of course, Mark Smith is going to take away some riding time here at the beginning, too, I think, probably.
Green takes neutral.
He wants neutral.
Go, guys.
Joe Smith is going to go neutral. Joe Williams is going to go neutral. Isn't that something? He's not going to take that point to come out. He wants to go on the feet and take him down.
Well, he knows where his strength is. I'm surprised. I thought Williams would think. I think that shows a lot of respect for Mark Smith, obviously.
Come on, guys.
I would think Williams could think that he could score on anyone. So here he's saying, I'm going to win it on my feet. It's 2-2. He knows he has to take him down. He just put him. This match is going to be won right here. Something Smith has not done yet, he has to do, though. He has to take Williams down.
Yes, he does. 2-2 is the score. 16-9 Oklahoma State over Iowa at 167. There's a warning against Mark Smith for inactivity.
Smith has not gotten in on Williams yet. The only time he even came close was off Williams' shot when he snuck around there, but really that turned into a stalemate. Smith has not penetrated Williams.
And you see Williams controlling Mark Smith's one hand, his right hand. With both hands, just controlling it, so anywhere he goes, he has it. And then he took his double leg shot off it. So
Smith needs to find the angle right here. Joe Williams, when he comes on, Smith needs to slide to the side to get the takedown. Williams needs to stay and dictate the pace and stay in control.
Last minute, many of the people in this 13,000 plus throng are on their feet trying to get Joe Williams that takedown.
Williams has an opportunity here with two shots in a row right here.
Whoa! Oh, a nice
shot.
High clutch try.
He's got the single. Williams has got the single. He's got to keep Smith on the mat.
Half a minute to go.
He's got to keep him on the mat.
Didn't have it. A quick whizzer by Smith.
Great defense by Smith. Good shot for Williams.
25 seconds to go. Timeout by Mark Smith, which of course the Hawkeye fans don't appreciate. So that was close. That was very close, 16-9. Figure out how it might have to go from here. Iowa will be favored in the next 2 matches, maybe the next 3. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a toss-up at 177.
177.
You ready?
2 unranked wrestlers.
Ready? Cut the sign.
Be very interesting to see. And every single match, whether it's the national champion
Stay in the middle
or
now.
a newcomer, is important, as we discovered.
Couple more shots by Williams right here. No, Schmidt's kept him off.
Williams wasn't able to reach him. It's looking more and more like an overtime match, Tim.
Going right into sudden victory.
And that's what's going to happen. They'll go right away.
Smith put himself in a position that he'd want to be in here, away from home. But the thing is, Smith's got to pull the trigger on him first.
Caution against Smith.
He just played his hand. Williams has to know what's coming.
Get set. Skip here.
So now we go. 2 minutes. Whoever scores first wins. Whoever scores first takes it home. There's a single leg by Williams, and Smith fought it off. Williams, the flurry of activity, but countered well. Single leg, up behind. Got it, take down the win. What would you say about 20 seconds of the best wrestling that Joe Williams has done all year? Wouldn't you say, Tim?
Great match. Very, very strategic match.
So now it's 16-12. Oklahoma State leads over the Iowa Hawkeyes.
This match is going to be interesting, to say the least, coming up. There's the takedown. Joe Williams staying with him, going down, getting a 2 on the edge of the mat, and the win.
Number 1 Oklahoma State.
There's your reaction from Coach Zaleski.
Will send at 177 pounds a freshman, a very, very talented, one of those really good Oklahoma State freshmen from Vallejo, California, Mark Munoz, against Paul Jan. Paul Jan, who is a sophomore from Britt, Iowa. And Jen drops in a single leg. Across the boundary before a score could go.
Oh, this is a huge, huge match. Iowa.
Oh, it is.
For Iowa right here, and Paul Jen started out the way he wants to, is with an attack right here, because he's going to have to be offensive and score. He can't just be pushing. He can't just be aggressive. Munoz, very talented. What he wants to do is just wrestle. Jen's going to stay on you. He's going to get after you, but the key for the Oklahoma State wrestlers to not get flustered.
When Munoz made that kind of shot. Oh, and he countered well. Takedown for Munoz.
Get down, Green. Face this way. Got him, man. Get set. Okay, you're set. Top.
Turned the corner really well on those leg shots there.
Well, you can tell how quick he is.
He is a real talent, there's no doubt. 2-0. Big match for both teams.
That arm. Keep it legal.
Munoz bars the arm. He's willing to come right around. He's not just hanging on up there, where he wasn't until just now. Jen gets out, so it's 2-1. Back on the feet. Crowd would like to get in it, and they do now with Jen on the single. Takedown.
That's big. That's big. Jen's just not as skilled and not as talented as Munoz right here, and he gets in on a great single, executes well, trips, get the 2 points, going out. Big,
And
you can tell he's pumped up.
Down.
Comes down to 2 unranked wrestlers. The winner here is going to go a long ways in determining
That's right.
who is number 1 in the
wins the
nation.
meet. Who wins it? Munoz fights the hands off, gets up, and out. Oh!
See, that's what
nice
you do.
shot.
Well, he's so talented. And you're right. He found the angle, but he knows how to handle that pressure from Jan. He just goes to the side, snaps him down, goes around. Very excellent, excellent move by Munoz.
5-3 in favor of the Cowboy. Mark Munoz. He lost very early in the year to the #1 ranked man, Mitch Clark of Ohio State.
Out of bounds. Hustle back. You're down, Green. Hustle back.
And he lost to the 2nd ranked man of Arizona State.
Right here, look at that snap and go around. He was there. It was just one big move. He was behind him.
Okay,
He's very talented and quick.
Caution, you got to put your hand here, okay? At least stay there.
What you might say is, if you're thinking stereotypically, the Iowa work ethic against the California flash, you know, and the score now is 5-4 in favor of Munoz after Jen gets away.
See, what Jen can't do is get careless,
Out of bounds,
because Munoz can outskill him. It's just as simple as that. But he can't get careless, stay in good position, because we don't know whether Munoz can stay with the pressure that Jen can put on him if he stays in good position and doesn't get careless.
5-4, it's a match. There's no doubt about it. Neither one of them has settled anything to anybody's satisfaction here.
Well, Munoz can throw too. He can do a lot of things from his feet, and so this is the situation. Jen has to keep good position. Now, good hips right there. Good first period.
5-4 in favor of the Cowboy, Mark Munoz.
Green's down.
The Oklahoma State freshman.
Bottom man gets set.
Paul Jen gets his choice, the Iowa
Okay, bottom, you're set.
77-pounder, and he takes down. Never won a state championship in Iowa. Finished 2nd.
There was a one move right there, and that wasn't even anything big by Munoz on top. A little tight waist there, but Jen put one move, went down to his belly. Now he's in a bad situation. He's got to get up like he's capable of, get his hips underneath him and go.
Riding time becomes a factor. He's trying to get to a minute.
Oh, that's what he should have been aware of right off the stop. This was big time getting out.
Watch your arm.
And now he has more than a minute of riding time, which should be added to the score.
Not only that, Munoz got a lot of pressure on top of him.
Keep it legal.
But now Jen moves quickly and gets up. So the score on the board is 5-5. Here is Jen.
Good hips. Good hips.
Is awfully good.
Good hips. Both ways. Great hips by Oklahoma State. Great hips by Jen. These guys are fighting. That's what it's all about.
They're right on the edge of the mat. Jen gives up the headlock there, and they come back to the middle with 1:03 to go in the 2nd period. 16-12, Oklahoma State leads Iowa after 7 matches.
Both coaches, they just probably told both wrestlers, get out there and fight, but fight the whole time. Get in there and get your position, dictate the pace. Both wrestlers getting after it.
Single leg.
Great low shot.
For Munoz. There's that Oklahoma State John Smith single leg.
Doing a good job of coming around, too.
Yes, he is.
Jen still has the leg right there. Hold on tight.
Potentially dangerous on the knee, so...
Still neutral. Still neutral.
No takedown.
Watch your knee. Watch your knee. That's 2 red takedown.
Whoa.
There's the takedown.
That was a close call. Munoz's knees went out. Then Yegla called the 2 points.
15
this
seconds
is big.
to go.
17 seconds for Jen to get out. He needs to get out right now, and he does.
7-6 for Munoz.
Munoz backing up now.
Well, as you said, just keep. There's a bad angle on that knee at the end of the period. Now we go to the last period, and Munoz has his choice. He's going to take the underneath position.
Let's go, Red. Come on, bottom man, get set.
Against
you gotta love the spunk of both these wrestlers.
Yeah, 7-6. And remember that the riding time advantage of 1:23 seconds worth goes with Munoz right now, so he has a shadow point up there on the board too.
Jen Hyde loved to stay behind him, but he wasn't able to do it.
Now it's 8-6 in favor of Munoz, who just got out.
So Jen needs a couple of takedowns to win this match for Iowa. Jen needs to go beyond his talent right here. That's what he's been doing all year long.
Counter by Munoz to a low shot. But he wanted to walk in and throw there if he could. A minute and a half to go in the match. 16-12 in favor of Oklahoma State in the team score. And Iowa Public Television's coverage of #1 against #2, the Cowboys and the Hawkeyes. Front headlock from Munoz. What's he going to do with it?
He's got to do something.
Both up. Come on, guys, in the middle, in the middle.
Munoz, the Cowboy, leads by 2. Low single for Jan.
He's got to pull it up. He's got to get his hips underneath him. That's the way you do it. You get up to your feet.
A roll by Munoz into a scramble. Uh-oh, now there's Jen on his back. A beautiful move. And that
2 near fall, Red.
2 back, 2 reversal, and 2 back points.
They seem quick, but he has been consistent all. Those are fast counts.
A reversal.
You're down, Green.
And a near fall makes it a suddenly a 6-point lead for the Cowboys.
And 7 with riding time.
So big moves can make a difference. That was a big move. Munoz lets him go. 12-7. Jen is known as the goer, but
Munoz has done a great job here.
Has been really hitting hard.
Yeah, he's done a good job of outskilling Jen.
And working real hard here in the last 30 seconds or so. He's the man with the power at the end.
Yep.
And now he has a major decision.
Well, he doesn't now.
No, he doesn't.
He let him go. He should have never let him go. He was supposed to ride him. That's a freshman mistake. Big time. 14-8 right here. It's a 7-point. He's got to take Jen down. Jen got to know where he's at. Got to know where he's at right now. He hasn't got a stalling call. He just can't give up. He can't give it up for Iowa. That would be just like giving him 1 point.
But it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a major decision after all.
Whoa.
That's a couple of times in this meet that Oklahoma State has let a major decision get away at the last minute. So 15-8 is a 7-point lead. And that's 3 points for the Oklahoma State score. So here we go into the last 2 matches with a 7-point lead for Oklahoma State. Iowa not only has to win both matches, they have to win to tie it. They have to win one by a major decision, but they really essentially need a pin to win the meet.
Well, you got a national champion from Iowa in Lee Fullhart. Enough said.
Right. Well, don't be shy is what you're saying, right? To Lee Fullhart.
I'm saying it's his opportunity to do what he can do against a very talented but young wrestler from Oklahoma State.
19-12 in favor of the Cowboys as they came in ranked first.
And the key here is that he doesn't waste time. Lee Fullhart needs to go out and get the points. He's got to get the points, build up the 4, try to go to the 5, but he's got to do it and he can't stand around. Right like that. He's got to get in and go. He needs to let him up now as soon as he gets a 2.
And scores 2-0.
Unless he likes his opportunity on the mat. But he's got to be thinking about scoring points now.
Pat Popolizio is the opponent. He's a sophomore from Niskayuna, New York.
Optional start, bottom. Okay, top.
He's
See,
on
here
the
we go.
side.
Because he had an easy enough time on the feet the first time, he goes again. The situation is if Lee Fullhart can get a pin or a match termination, he puts the team in a position for a regular decision by their heavyweight. Wes Hand wins the meet for him. If he just gets a 4-point win, Wes Hand has to do more than a regular decision to win the meet for Iowa.
Pat Popolizio is a dangerous wrestler, even though he's unranked. He is a pinner. At least has been this year, 5 falls. He was at one time the top recruit in the state of New York. There's That one turned the other way.
Out of bounds, hustle back.
Fullhart locked up the throw with good reason.
Right here, he's going after it all. What he needs to do is just get his points first.
Top.
Instead, he got taken down.
Now he's all of a sudden it's a not only an even match. Oklahoma State's right where they want to be.
One green.
Popolizio is out. 3-3.
Oklahoma State's a tough team. Come into a very hostile environment.
Warning against Popolizio for backing out.
Out of bounds. Hustle back, hustle back. Stay in here, Red.
Dan Gable. You can take the man out of the coaching position, but you can't take the coach out of the man.
A minute to go in the first period.
Popolizio doing the job that Oklahoma State wants him to do.
Stay in there,
it's not only just close, it's tied up.
19-12 in favor of the Cowboys. With this match and one more to go, so you add up the points.
But how long can he run? There's two.
Out of bounds, both up. Out of bounds.
Referee did not see it that way. He says they went out of bounds before all supporting points were on the mat. That's Chuck Yagla's thinking. He says both up. But one more step back. I would have said that that's right now he's going to get called. The Oklahoma State wrestler is going to get called.
That's going on red. One green, two green.
3 points. There's the equivalent of the 3-point move for wrestling. 1 point stalling, 2 points takedown.
He tried to throw a headlock just after he'd been warned for stalling. I don't think it had anything to do with it. Just the coincidence turned out that way, but it's a 3-point lead now for Fullhart.
Fullhart's got the situation where he wants him. He's just got to be smart about it. He's got Popolizio on the run. He's got the referee thinking about him. He's got to put more pressure on him from the feet.
Easy. Red, your choice.
Here he's in tight. He's underhooking.
Red's down.
He gets a takedown, kind of a bailout headlock by Popolizio.
Popolizio has his choice here in the second period. He's going to take the underneath position against Lee Fullhart, last year's national champion at 190
Optional star
pounds.
bottoms. Stay top.
2 years ago, he finished fourth.
Popolizio,
one red.
not a bad wrestler at all. 18-5 on the year. He's going up against the defending national champion. He's stalling right now. Popolizio's running.
6-4 in favor of Fullhart. But
he's going to get hit
Iowa
again.
needs big points. Now, there's that bear hug.
He's got to do it again. See, that's what he's got to do.
Out of bounds, that's one
For
red.
a takedown, because,
hustle back, guys.
And of course, in a situation like that, if Popolizio does not get turned away, he can take him to his back. That's what he's trying to do, is throw.
Fullart's got to take advantage of the situation where Popolizio is just not wrestling. He's backing off.
That's stalling on red.
There's the stalling point.
Wouldn't it be big for Iowa if they disqualified the Oklahoma State wrestler? And what Fullhart's got is the opportunity from a strategy point to make it happen. He's got a lot of time to do it. He's got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to disqualify this Oklahoma State wrestler. That's as good as a pin. It's 6 points for Iowa.
And again,
Oklahoma State's in trouble right here.
Well, you know, he does. The impression is that Popolizio doesn't give the indication of having whatever tools it takes to really throw some offense against Fullhart.
Well, that is stalling right there. I mean, yep, there's two. This is getting out of hand, but it's correct calls by Chuck Yagla. But what he's got to do is let him go. Fullhart needs to let him go. He can't stand on top there because that's playing into their hands.
35 seconds to go in the second period. A 13-5 lead for Fullhart.
Fullhart, on his feet, he's stalling him out.
Watch your knee there, watch your knee.
Well, strategically, he'd like to go at least.
It's over.
That brings us down to heavyweight.
My judgment, okay?
You know what?
Warning, okay?
What Coach Schmidt is saying is it's a mismatch. He didn't stall. But Papiol is 18-5. He's been ranked. He's a good wrestler.
That was a warning. That was a warning. It's a question of my judgment. It's a question of my judgment. You got a warning, okay?
All right, we come down to heavyweight again. And it's 18 points for Iowa because that adds 6 to the score, 19-18. And it's Ben Lee against Wes Hand. They've wrestled twice before. Last year, Wes Hand beat Ben Lee twice. Wes Hand is ranked 7th. Ben Lee has been rated. He's not in the rankings right now because he had a bad week last week. He lost to both Ward of Oklahoma on a fall and to Stark, number 4 ranked wrestler from Wisconsin.
The winner here wins it all.
Wes Hand, well, he's had, as you can tell, ups and downs this year. A couple of downs here on TV in the last meets.
Go guys,
One against Penn State, one against Minnesota, but then he turned around and went right up to Minnesota and beat Sheldon Benjamin in
Hustle back, guys, hustle back.
another match.
I think the strategy here for Hand has to be to get on top of the head, snap down, and go around. He doesn't want to get underneath. There's no reason to risk it. A takedown is big in this match. You know, Lee went 15 sudden death overtimes last year.
Isn't that amazing?
15. He knows how to keep it close.
It also indicates that he doesn't score a lot.
Get your head here.
Because, as you know, most overtime matches are not 11 to 11. They're like 1 to 1 or 2 to 2. So he has to be able to score against Hand.
And I think his best opportunity is to score off Hand's shots. Well, if Hand doesn't get underneath him, now Hand, of course, has a great high crotch, but I think strategy-wise here, Hand wants to pull him down, snap him down, and go around. That way he's never underneath. He's quicker than Lee, and he's just got to be real smart here. No reason to risk it, just execute.
Oklahoma State, 19, Iowa, 18. Whoever wins the match wins the meet. A disqualification at 190 pounds.
Stay in there,
Added
guys.
6 points to the Iowa score. Brought them up within range of victory here if Wes Hand can beat Ben Lee, and Ben Lee knows very well what the situation is for him too. He's been there before. Heavyweights have a tendency to be that way, and they know what's going on. They're the ones who are the last guys out there.
And both of these guys got this a unique pressure on them both. Hand's been in this situation twice in Carver Hawkeye and lost and basically been the one that's given the win to the other team.
Hustle back, guys.
Well,
Hustle back.
Lee is coming off 2 losses that he has to recover from. 2 straight losses.
middle, guys.
They both have a lot of weight on their shoulder.
My understanding is that against Stark of Wisconsin, Lee was ahead until the last few seconds and got a little passive and lost. And then he got caught in a quick trip by Ward of Oklahoma, who can be dangerous.
They're both stalling. Warning on both stalling. Let's go, guys.
Both men being very cautious about what they need to do. Underhooked by Lee right at the very end of the first period. So no score in the first period. We'll now go to the mat.
Iowa, your choice.
Glad you could be with us
Bottom man, get set.
on Iowa Public Television's coverage. There's John Smith. His heavyweight can win. His team will, I'm sure, stay number 1.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened in this meet, Tim, to get us to this point. some real ups and
Things
downs
you
for
could
both
not
teams.
predict.
No, like Jeff McGinness getting pinned.
Just about the time you think one team's out of it, something big happens and they're back in it, and it's gone back and forth.
Even by the number 1 man. And then with Guerrero ahead 6-0, losing.
Good hand control, hands up.
1-0.
A lot of strategy here. You don't want to get underneath.
Stay in there.
1-0 on the escape.
Stalemate. Come on, guys.
Minute and a half to go, second period. Wes Hand from South Tama High School in Tama County, Iowa. Ben Lee from Ripon, California, one of 3 Californians in the starting lineup for Oklahoma State.
Both wrestlers being awful cautious here. Neither one being able to get on top or underneath the other one.
Guys, more action. More action.
From Iowa's point of view here, Hand has to be more aggressive than he is. He's got to get the inside position and create his opportunities. Find the angles.
Less than a minute to go in the second period, 49 seconds. Referee Chuck Dragwood brings him out to the center. Each man has been warned, so it's points. We're in the point business from now on. What happened is 190, we went through all the points. Finally, the 2-point penalty and then the disqualification.
The thing about Hand, he does a lot of things well. Lee's pretty limited. He's got 2 or 3 things that he does well, and he's got to stay within that. Hand hasn't done anything here yet. Neither one of them wrestlers are really giving themselves a chance to win as far as any offense is concerned.
Half a minute to go, second period. 1-0. The only score was West Ham's escape.
It's one apiece. Both scoring, one apiece. Come on, guys.
Penalties both ways.
That's the way I see it.
2-1 in favor of Hand. And that's the end of the second period. All right, this is the one that settles it.
Red down.
Well, this would be big if Hand could put the pressure on him, stay behind Lee, and ride him for 54 seconds. That would.
Action, guys.
This is a situation where he.
Bottom man get set.
Well, you know, I just saw something. Hand says, what do I do right here? There's the big guy, Steve Schmidt. But Hand says, what do I do right here? I think it's pretty obvious what you do. You get on and you put a lot of pressure on and you ride.
That was on me, okay? I'm not going to call anybody on that. Bottom man get set. Okay, you're set. Top, optional start, bottom. Okay,
Hand has decided he's going to go on the feet.
One red.
2-2.
You know, that's hard for me to understand. I don't think Lee's thought of as really good from underneath. No, but it's up in the air now. Whoa!
Hand went to the leg, couldn't get it, dropped down to the single.
The thing about that was the indecisiveness. That says a little bit about
Hustle back, guys, hustle back.
where Hand's at right now. He needs to be decisive on what he's doing right here.
And so does Ben Lee, who hasn't really shown any kind of offensive moves of any kind here so far.
That last shot was about the only offensive move we've seen the whole match.
The meat is in the balance here with a minute to go.
Couple of straight shots by Hand. And again and again and again, and you get a call.
So 2-2 with 52 seconds to go. Oklahoma State leads 19-18. So whoever wins this one wins the meet.
Injury time, Green.
Injury time for Wes Hand with 49 seconds to go.
I didn't see what happened right there. He got rammed off the but that's because Lee stepped in. Lee's doing a great job for Oklahoma State. He has never beaten. Here it comes right here. Lee steps in and he hits his head right there.
Yeah.
He takes the top of his head and hits in the hand. Lee's in there fighting. He's never beaten hand. He's in a situation now to be able to win this meet for Oklahoma State.
No coaching. Hey. Team point.
2-2 with 49 seconds to go.
How much? 40.
At heavyweight, we've gone down through 9 weights. Topsy-turvy, up and down. Disaster on both sides.
Ready? Count the down.
And we're back at it. The 49-second last few chances for this crowd to get excited. For these two heavyweights to rise to glory for their teams. Half a minute to go. 2-2.
Couple shots in a row by hand would have this meet done with.
If you're an official in a situation like this, you don't want to call it, do you?
Not now. Oh, there's nothing to call.
Five seconds to go. We're going to have an overtime, I think. And we do.
Come down to heavyweight. Come down to overtime. Number 1 versus number 2.
Go guys, come on.
Here we are, sudden death. First man who scores wins.
It's the first person that executes, doesn't make a mistake.
Circle in. Let him in the middle.
A minute and a half to go in the sudden death. The balance. Scales go whichever direction the winning wrestler comes from. Iowa wins the match, they win the meet. Oklahoma State wins the match, they win the meet.
Everybody on their feet. There's Lincoln McElravy, assistant coach in the back.
30 seconds. Let's flip it, guys. Get back here. 30 seconds. They're both stalling us, 1 apiece. 30 seconds.
In the rule right there.
Red, your choice.
Lee can be written. Lee can be written. He's just got to decide he's going to do it.
This is the way you do it. With 30 seconds, you have 1 chance to get away. If you're on the bottom, you have to stay. You have to get out. If you're on top, you have to ride the man for 30 seconds. And this is the whole issue in sudden death. And he's out. And Oklahoma State wins.
All right, shake hands. Here, Red.
Lee kept himself in that match just like he was coached to do.
Get to a double overtime. And so that makes it 22 for the Cowboys, 18 for the Hawkeyes. Boy, you know, everything happened. You look back over the record of this 10 matches and you think this was a novel, you know, with all kinds of...
Here's on the 30 seconds right there. They had to go in with 30 seconds because they both were called for stalling, so he put them down. It was the 30-second. You don't go the full 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and Lee gets out in 3 seconds of that 30 seconds to win it for Oklahoma State, who will remain number 1 in the nation.
They will, and that's the 3rd time that Iowa has lost this year in Carver Hawkeye Arena. An amazing series of events. They lost only once in all these years before, and here they will lose 3 times. Well, you heard a little bit about, I think if you've been noticing, a little bit about the summary of the event. What happened, that was the escape at that won it.
You didn't see the reaction from West's hand that you wanted to on the whistle. A big jam down, you know, didn't happen. but the response came from Lee. He was out like in a bolt.
Thursday winning coach, John Smith. His team came in at number 1, undefeated, and they still are undefeated. Well, started out well for Oklahoma State with a major decision at Teague Moore over Eric Juergens. That was kind of surprising to some people, but it was a bigger surprise at 126 when Eric Guerrero ran out of gas, and Doug Schwab beat him late, just much as the same as he did Dwight Hinson up at Iowa State. And so Schwab has won 2 really big ones this year. Then Ironside, looking for big points, pinned Jamil Kelly, and it looked like Iowa was on the way, right?
Not for long.
Then it was Stephen Schmidt against Jeff McGinness. McGinness got number 1 ranked Stephen Schmidt on his back in a cradle, almost pinned him, couldn't do it. Schmidt got out, got McGinness in a cradle, and did pin him. That stunned this crowd. One of their great favorites over the years, the All-American Jeff McGinness, and that was Oklahoma State up 10-9. Then Jimmy Arias won rather nicely at 150. 158, Hardell Moore. At 167 pounds, it was Joe Williams in a tough match.
Yep.
That was a big one for Iowa. At 177, Mark Munoz was the victor over the Iowan Paul Jen. At 190 pounds,